Hey gang, Ashley here. Flip this around for a second. Oopsie. Show you I'm out here hanging out with my babies today. I don't know where Hershey went. She's back here behind me. You can see her. Yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Sun's shining and it's gonna get hot today. So if you got any plans out and about, let's get them done early. I know I need to get out and do a little bit of weed pulling and stuff like that today, maybe. We'll see. I want to talk to you today about how we've gotten away from the church. And one of the things that really, really irks me is how we don't keep our Sundays, for Christians, our Sundays holy anymore. Our world used to be where businesses were closed on Sundays. You didn't have sporting events other than the professional events that happened on Sunday afternoons. You know, our youth weren't pulled away from church on a Sunday to go play baseball or soccer or basketball or whatever they were into, volleyball. And Sunday was holy. Sunday was family time. Sunday was church time. Sunday was truly God's time. And now our society has gotten to the point where businesses are open all day on Sundays. And that started where people had started complaining. And so they passed a law where businesses could open, I think it was after 1 o'clock on Sundays, after church time. But now it's just a free-for-all. Everybody's allowed to be open whenever on Sundays, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. A lot of businesses barely take off for Thanksgiving and Christmas, our two big holidays here in this country. And kids are pulled out because they have ball tournaments, just all kinds of stuff, excuses not to be in church on Sundays. And that really, really bothers me. I know I'm not the greatest at being in church. I've been in and out of church all my life, but I still believe the church has become it's the foundation of our belief. It's a gathering place where we can meet and worship God and learn more about God, study the Bible together as a group, and then be able to take that out with us through the week in our weekly activities. But in today's society, they just don't care anymore. And I think that's one thing that we need to fight to change. I think we should follow businesses like Chick-fil-A, who are Christian-based, and have businesses be closed on Sundays and not hold any sporting events that take our families, especially our youth, out of church. Now, our church started with Christ, the birth of Christ, the death and resurrection of Christ, the teaching to the disciples. And at that time, it was still concentrated into the Jewish nation. But as the disciples went out and were teaching Jesus across the nation, their world at the time, Gentiles, which is the rest of us who are not Jewish, started listening to what these disciples were teaching. and wanted to be a part of this. So God had gone to the disciples and said, you need to spread out and start teaching all nations about Jesus and about God and God's love, and that everybody that God has created can be forgiven with the belief in Jesus, his birth, death, and resurrection, and everybody has an equal chance to go to heaven. And as if you look in the Bible and read in Acts, they established a church in Antioch, which is the first place we hear the term Christian and Christianity, which is the belief in Christ, his birth, death, and resurrection, that he was the ultimate sacrifice for all peoples. And from there, we have the Gospels, we have the book of Acts, we have other books that are now eventually became part of our Bible that came about, teaching the peoples and how they should gather and conduct church and worship together, and to keep our Sabbath day holy, because we are taught in the Bible that God has created the world within 6 days, his time, and on the seventh day he rested. And this was the way we should conduct our daily lives. We work 6 days a week and rest and come together to worship on the seventh day. For us, technically it's what we consider the first day of the week, but if we work Monday through Saturday, then Sunday is our holy day, our day off. And sadly, a lot of people don't get to have that day off anymore. They don't get to come and worship. And it's really, I think, corrupting our society. If you look, we have less and less people that are attending churches. We have more and more violence that's going on. If you look at the news, every day you'll see some kind of violent act that has happened, and this is very sad. I think if we observed what God has taught us and have people to be able to come to church on Sundays, that there would be a lot less violence, there would be a lot less prejudice, racism, going on in our world today, and there'd be a lot more love, people wanting to help each other, work together, recognize all children as God's children, and we'd be a much better society. So just think about that. Think about the things that you do. We need to push and fight to stop things that are taking us out of the church, away from the church, and get back to what God has taught us and get back to our roots. So share this. Let me hear your comments, and just want to know what you think and see what we can do to help our society. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you again soon. Ashley with Hershey and Restore, and we're out.